fourth grade scientists. Miss Cross is here, welcoming you to another exciting week of science. And we are shifting to a new AKS, which means you're learning a little bit of a different topic this week. And we have some new learning targets, okay? So this week we are going to be working, remember last week I told you that our AKS kind of gives us a goal for the week. By the end of the week, we hope to be able to do this. So this week, we are going to be working on developing simple models to illustrate the flow of energy through a food web and a food chain, beginning with sunlight and including producers, consumers, and decomposers. That is a lot of words, friend. I'm going to read it again. Developing simple models to illustrate. Okay, so that's the same thing we did last week with producers, consumers, and decomposers. And I notice I see those words again this week, producers, consumers, and decomposers. So we've already worked on that a little bit, so that is great. So we're going to be illustrating the flow of energy through a food web or a food chain, beginning with sunlight and including producers, consumers, and decomposers. So we are going to work towards this week, okay? And here are some different learning targets. I can identify and describe the roles of producers, consumers, and decomposers in a community. I can explain how energy flows in a food chain. I can explain how energy flows in a food web. And finally, I can develop a model that describes the roles of organisms in a community. Okay, friends, here we go. We are going to start just like we did last week. Oops, pressed the wrong button, sorry. With a scientific phenomenon. We learned last week that a scientific phenomenon is a picture or pictures that we look at. Could be a video, could be a chart, could be a diagram. And the reason we look at a scientific phenomenon is to get ourselves really curious and interested about a new science topic. So remember that as you study by looking at the picture, and remember you want to look not just at the middle, not just at the big thing, but you want to let your eyes travel from top to bottom, side to side, so that you take in the whole image and you don't miss any little details. And you can record the things you notice and wonder in your journals or share with your classmates if you have that opportunity. Okay, so we're going to look at our science phenomenon for this week. Okay, friends, here it is. So I'm just going to give you a minute to study this with your eyes, to look all around. Okay, now just in case you have trouble reading it or seeing it from whatever screen you're looking at, I want to just kind of go around the picture and read for you and point a few things out, and then I'm going to give you another few seconds to study and think. So down here in the bottom right, oops, every time I move my mouse, that bar comes up. Okay, so down in the bottom right, you see the word bacteria. In a circle is an enlarged picture of bacteria. Bacteria are tiny, 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 tiny. You cannot see them. So that's how it might look under a microscope. I also see earthworms on the bottom and fungi. Fungi is a plural for fungus. We talked about mushrooms last week. So if you have more than one, we say fungi. Then above that in a box, we see a coyote. Above that in a box, we see a squirrel. Above that in a box, we see some little plants, some little seedlings, and I notice the sun. Now, in between each of those boxes, from the top to the bottom, I notice red arrows going down from the top picture to the bottom. And on the left side, I see a green arrow that's going from the bottom picture all the way up to the top picture, and it says soil nutrients. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet now and let you think again. And if you need time to record the things you notice or wonder in your journal or share them with your classmates, just pause your screen and push play when you're ready to continue. Okay, friends, here are some things to think about. You might have noticed these things or wondered these things, but these are some things I noticed, and I wanted to be sure that you thought about them too. Why are there arrows between those organisms? what do the red arrows show? What do the green arrows show? How do worms eat coyotes? Worms eat coyotes. That sounds kind of weird, but it's true. I want you to think if you can figure out how that might happen. P.S. It's kind of gross. Okay, and finally, how are all of the images related? Why are they together the way they're together? Okay, friends, so this week we're going to be investigating and learning the answers to all of these questions and more. You're now going to click on a read aloud link that should be on your eClass page for a book that's called Who Eats What? And I will read that story to you, and in that story you'll hopefully get some more clues about this week's science topic. Tomorrow we're going to dive even deeper into this topic. I can't wait to do that with you. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you back for more science tomorrow. Bye, guys.